Voy a subir. No sé,
This soup doesn't use flowers very much. We usually salmon. I would just say okay, maybe that last firefighter, the 16-year-old who died in the fire. 920 or something.
This book stuff's there. Be right.
Years.
Good Lord.
Well, I mean, I'm in a
It's the best news I've seen anything about.
Everybody good on sound? Yeah, there's a time. I mean, if it pops up.
What do you for this chair? Okay.
Hey, man. Put your camera that way.
Bien. ¿Se va? ¿A dónde?
Por Uruguay. ¿Estamos por ahí?
Muchas gracias.
No me digas eso.
¿Córdoba?
Le recomendaron si vas a Barcelona o la ciudad de San Luis. Supone que no lo son tanto. Tú le están diciendo que vaya a creo que es Córdoba. Una ciudad.
Georgia, North Carolina.
¿En serio? Hablas muy mal. Si quería aprender español, tiene que irse a Salamanca.
Ahora es pero más que nada esté ahí un tiempo y no tenga tiempo. Pero le dijeron que se iba, por ejemplo, a Barcelona.
Hablamos de sus idiomas, hablamos en catalán.
Sorry, man.
No, aburre.
He's asleep, really.
Embarazada, ¿verdad?
But yeah, they're going to Vegas.
Ya voy a
It's
llegar.
pretty appropriate.
Va a tener que hablar seriamente con ella.
Solo te digo que los bares cierran a las 7 de la mañana. Solo te digo eso.
Bueno, pues ya merece.
It's just different. They had me when they were her parents were already seen in 30 countries. You know, just travel the world.
Este sí que se lo montó bien en serio. Se lo montó bien en serio, el hecho de que nos queda ahí sentados. Tenemos un trabajo aquí de lunes a viernes, bien tranquilito.
No, ¿estás ahí? Oh, sí.
The Wi-Fi's not great.
It's not, yeah, it's, I couldn't connect.
I warn you, it's not the best.
Is it called Wi-Fi in there?
Yeah, it'd be Baylor Guest.
Sí,
Yeah, but I couldn't
puedo
connect. I
ir
didn't.
pasando por
If you once you connect to it, you gotta open up a page. It's kind of like a Starbucks, you know, you gotta confirm.
Let me try.
Porque no todos los mismos decimos.
Ya.
Is there a code?
No. No, you just have to open up a website and then click that confirm button.
Okay.
Yeah.
¿Sí puedes hacer tú?
And then go to your browser. It should pull up another web page where you can click confirm.
Lo haría como por gusto. como involucrarme en proyectos y cosas así, documentales, etc. Pero por gusto.
Ya, eso claro.
So go to your Safari. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's a web page you've got to open first.
Oh, it popped up.
You see it? There's a little button at the bottom.
Yeah, is it an agree thing?
Yeah, it's an agree button.
Okay, I'm on picture. The room.
So where am I supposed to go?
Just try and open up any page.
Any page?
Yeah, anything. And it should give you a little confirmation. They are.
Scott Gordon, like.
You have to sit in front of the page.
I know. It is not great.
This is not enough bandwidth.
I think that's what I'm doing. You know,
There's no way I'm going to be able to do this.
No, I know.
They're all not able to log in.
The day the war.
We don't have enough room for it, you know.
And I have to.
For every single one of these mobile devices. It's one room. There's no way that
¿Lo haces en
room is
España
big
también?
enough.
sí, pero estaba más tranquilo, no estaba en estudio.
This is a necessity.
Sí, no, hacía un day night.
Ok.
Mi último trabajo fue un day night, 3 años estuve ahí.
Era como audiencia.
Do you work here?
I do, yes, ma'am.
What is the Baylor Twitter
At Baylor
Estaba
Health.
de sonido ahí.
at Baylor Health?
Y empezamos a ir en vivo, pero
It looks like
no
you're
era
good.
factible.
I don't know what happened,
Por
but
eso no fue factible, incluso luego lo cambiamos en el grabado. Imagínate, parábamos.
Are y'all having trouble with the internet?
Tenemos que ver el set.
So
No,
slow.
tremendo,
No.
o sea, una vida.
¿Para qué compañera?
El Tarrat Productions. El Tarrat.
So that's it? Or I need to go?
I think you're good, as far as I know.
I have one.
You do? Oh, praise the Lord. Thank you. I ran off and left it in the car.
¿Salen por ahí?
Backside right there, the other side.
So you know who's going to be here today? It's going to be Dr. Seema Sikka from the Baylor Institute of Rehab. She's her physician. Mackenzie's going to be sitting right here, and her mom and dad will be right next to her. The one thing that she's asked me to let you guys know, the one thing she doesn't want to talk about is the actual company itself, the actual skydiving company. So she'd appreciate, she's not going to answer any questions about the actual skydiving company. Outside of that, she'll talk to you. She wants to make one brief statement, and then she'll take questions.
Thank you.
This is it.
Good morning. That got me nervous. First, I would like to take this time to thank, first and foremost, God, and then not in any special order, the medical staff at OU, and the medical staff and therapists at Baylor Institute of Rehabilitation, the public, the community of Joshua High School, my family, and my friends. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate all of y'all's support. And a special shout out to the Aranakis family, because they put together the fundraisers for the shirts, and they've just been really good to me with lots of support. So thank y'all.
Well, let's start with how you feel.
I'm good. I feel good. I'm doing better every day. So, making a good recovery.
You hope to skydive again?
Well, as much as I would like to, I think that my parents and the rest of my family would die if I did. They're against that now.
Makenzie, how do you think you've made such remarkable quick progress?
I think that God has a lot to do with it, and He has plans for me in the future.
Makenzie, can you take us back to what happened? What happened that day?
Well, I remember everything up until I remember getting in the plane and feeling that rush of excitement, and I remember jumping out of the plane and looking up and seeing that there was a complication with the parachute, and so I started kicking my feet like I was taught in class, and I looked up and it still wasn't fixing, so I tried to pull the toggles apart, and I just was not strong enough to fight off the wind. So I just remember screaming, and then I blacked out, and I don't remember anything after that until 3 days after.
Did
What
you
do you
black
remember
out?
when you said you saw a problem? What did you see?
I actually don't remember that.
You said you remember falling, and at some point you remember something was wrong. How did you know something was wrong? Did you see something, or what?
I saw it.
What did you see?
I don't remember.
You just know you saw something.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, did you black out before you hit the ground?
Yes.
Okay. Are you kind of glad that happened?
Yes.
You don't remember hitting the ground?
No. I think that played a big part on why I wasn't injured as much as I could have been.
Can you tell us a little bit about your injuries? Okay.
Yeah, so she had, Makenzie had a little bleeding in her brain. So she had some bleeding in front of her brain. She had some fractures to her mid-back, her thoracic spine, some vertebral compression fractures. She had some rib fractures. She had a liver laceration, which they went in and stopped the bleeding, and then the renal, she had a kidney laceration, and initially she had some pneumothoraces, or her lungs, like air in her lungs, or around her lungs, so, and some dental fractures, and, yeah, like an ear section.
What do you think about her recovery?
Yeah, she's been recovering very well. Like I told her, she's lucky in that a lot of her injuries or fractures weren't like, they were still in line. So nothing got really damaged around where the bone was broken. So that was good. But she's still been like really, her hard work has really played a role in this, because she's been working really hard and really motivated with the therapies and everything, and even a lot of it too is just her with the bleeding in the brain. There's going to be some like slowing, cognitive slowing, and just fatigue. Like you can get pretty tired doing tasks. Where before she did a lot. She was very active even in school and her schoolwork. So I think that was initially a little frustrating, but she's already like really improved with all of that. So even with her fractures and the pain that she's had, she's really progressed pretty fast, pretty well.
Are you surprised she's made the kind of recovery that she's making?
Yeah, I think she has a lot of like kind of stress, and then just recovering, and this is all new and dealing with the pain, and so and someone like as young as she is to be able to cope with all of that, she's done very well.
Doctor, what's the prognosis?
You said when you fell, it was like 3 days later you woke up. At some point you had to realize what happened. When was that? Did they have to tell you, and what did you think? What did you think?
They told me, my parents told me, and I was shocked. Like, I don't think it really hit me and what had happened. I was just.
She was heavily medicated, so
Yeah.
once she started waking up, she remembered things that she doesn't remember that she remembers at the time. Things come and go to her as far as the accident happened, but She did tell us things right after she was, when they took the tube out of her mouth and everything, that she doesn't remember even today.
Makenzie, you had a special visitor from a Harlem Globetrotter, I understand, saw some of the YouTube footage. What was that like for you? I know you wanted to go to the event and you couldn't because of your recovery. Did that help kind of boost your spirits mentally, so to speak?
He was very nice, he was very funny, and it did. He made me feel really good, and he had a lot of support. He was just a really nice guy, and he texted me the other day and asked me how I was doing, and we sent a picture doing the duck face. It was really funny.
Makenzie, I know that your girlfriends, we talked to you, some of your best friends, Mia and them, the t-shirts and all of that stuff. I take it they came to see you and all of that. How much has the school and the community rallying around you? What does that mean?
They've done a lot. Like, their support really, really makes me feel good, and I know that they really care about me, and it really keeps me going. They're my motivation, wanting to please them, and everything that they've done with the fundraisers and stuff, it really helps.
What does it mean to you when you hear people say you're an inspiration or they've been touched by your story?
That makes me feel really good, and it just makes you want to strive to do more, you know.
For the father, you don't remember this, Makenzie, but when we talked to your mom and dad in Oklahoma City a couple of times, they couldn't have been more complimentary and so proud of you and proud of what you do in school. But they also did say that you really wanted to do this. You were leaning very hard on trying to skydive. Why? You don't really meet a whole lot of 16-year-olds that are trying to throw themselves out of an airplane. Walk us through the thought process of that.
It's always been something that I wanted to do. Like, for many years, I've wanted to skydive. Like, it's always been on my bucket list. And I was going to do it for graduation, and it was going to be a graduation present, but for some reason, I got online and started looking it up, and I saw that in Oklahoma you could be 16 parents and sit. So I called my dad right away, and I was like, Dad, please, let's go skydiving. Like, I want to do this so bad, and so we went.
And your mom, she told us in Oklahoma City that she was kind of the very reluctant one. Can you talk to us about how you're feeling about that now?
Well, she told me in school, she texted me, and she was like, I don't want to sign this paper. I'm going to have to think about it. It's a lot harder, and talk to your dad about it. And so I texted back and was like, Mom, really? I was like, please just sign the paper. And I was begging her, and after talking to my dad, I signed it.
Last question is, do you think there are some things that maybe 16-year-olds shouldn't do?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a limit on what 16-year-olds should do and what they shouldn't do.
When you're back home and you are fully recovered in a while, are you going to look at life differently now that you've gone through this?
Yes. I think this is my second chance to do better than I was doing. In the future, I've always wanted to be a surgeon, and now I know that I want to specialize in trauma so I can relate to the patients more. I think this has just made me get a better look on life.
Mom, you look surprised.
Well, she said that, of course, that she's going to do better. She excels in everything she does, though. That's why I was kind of surprised, like, what's she, hey, maybe that grade point average will go up just that little bit more.
Dr. Sickett,
she's very smart. Oh, go ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about the progress that Makenzie has made and when she might be able to go home?
Yeah, she's making good progress. She's already like walking like over 150 feet, like a good amount. still using a walker because we're still waiting to see if she can put weight through her leg. But we're hoping that will be very soon. And then, yeah, she's doing a lot. She's working a lot with speech therapy and working on like her homework, stuff like that, to, so she can get back to school. But we also discussed, you know, giving her body time to heal and getting back into things gradually. Like her mom said, she's very, very motivated, like excels in everything she does. So I think for her, she wants to really get back to where she was, which I think she will.
Is there a time as to how long it will take?
How long? I mean, I think, you know, kind of time will tell. I think as far as the fractures and stuff go, I think she'll be walking on her own very soon, maybe even within the next month.
Dad, how you feel right now?
Great. Feel great. I'm amazed at her. I admire her more than anyone in the world.
Makenzie, can you tell us?
You said there are some things a 16-year-old should do and some things a 16-year-old shouldn't do. I'm guessing one of the things you should do is listen to Mom next time.
Yes, definitely.
Makenzie, can you tell us take us to that moment where you look up at the parachute and you say, uh-oh, something's wrong. What went through your mind at that moment?
I know I was scared, and I know that there was something very wrong. I think I was focused on how I could fix it and what I could do, but I just don't really know. I went in shock, definitely.
What about you, Dad? Were you watching this as this all was unfolding?
Yes, but I wasn't sure it was her. There was supposed to be someone before her, and I couldn't see what that, who it was, exactly who came out. But I had a pretty good idea, I had a feeling it was going to be her.
What's going through your mind when that's happening? What's going through your mind when that's happening? I mean, you can't do anything from that
The only
point.
thing I can think is, please don't be her. Please don't be me. Please, God, don't be her.
You're lucky. She's here and she's improving so much. I mean, a lot of people were wondering how do you even survive something like that? What are your thoughts, Mom and Dad, about that?
I'll never forget the look on her face and how she looked when I ran up on her when she's on the ground. I mean, that was horrific, But now, man, thank God.
Do you think God listened to you that day?
Excuse me?
Do you think God listened to you that day?
They probably listened pretty hard. I'm glad he didn't listen to the beginning. But, I was pretty mad. I was blaming him at first. Couldn't understand it. Why would be hurt? And couldn't realize that she has a purpose. He's got plans for her.
Hey, Makenzie, your dad told us in Oklahoma City that there was a jumper that elected not to go before you. What was your understanding when you were getting out of the plane as to why he didn't go, and your thoughts about somebody basically, I don't want to say now, but I mean somebody that didn't go before. What was going through your mind at that point?
He was having a panic attack, so I didn't really.
So you knew he was panicked, and you knew that he wasn't going to go.
He was panicking before we ever left the ground, so she pretty much knew she was up for around.
He was saying in the plane, I'm having a panic attack. So.
But it didn't affect your.
It didn't affect me at all. No.
Were you scared at all?
I was not scared. I was excited.
Do you remember your dad approaching you?
I don't remember.
Can you share with us maybe just a little bit of reflection that you had over the whole ordeal? Is there anything you would have done differently? Like, would you have waited?
I wouldn't have gone. Yeah, I would have waited till I was 18.
Why did you want to jump solo and not family?
I didn't know I was going to jump solo until we had already gone there, and I found out later. I would have rather gone family.
Makenzie, tell us how you're feeling right now. Are you in any pain?
I feel really good.
How does it feel to walk?
It's really good. Like, I'm very thankful that I can move as well as I can.
How has recovery been, Makenzie? I mean, are there times where you're just like so angry about how long it's taking? I mean, walk us through that thought mindset.
Well, when I'm in physical therapy and I'm walking, that doesn't really bother me because, you know, I'm standing and I'm moving and I can walk with the walker, so that doesn't really bother me. But cognitively in speech therapy, when we're working on like math problems and it's like, it feels like it's third grade math and I have problems doing some of it, so that just, it is frustrating. Like, I've got points where I've cried doing math because it just feels like I can't do it.
Doctor, do you expect her to make 100% recovery?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to like say for sure, but I think the progress she's made in this amount of time, that yeah, she has very good prognosis. But I think like physically she's gonna probably get better faster, and then just working on some of the cognitive part is, which I think it'll improve more as the healing occurs, and as she, just the fatigue of it, I think it affects her a lot.
One more question for you. Makenzie said she doesn't know how she survived, maybe. How does somebody survive something like this?
Yeah. I don't know, like, know, I kind of said, I've seen a lot of amazing things and stories and people survive things, and, you know, I don't know that I can ever explain it, and I'm not necessarily like a physicist who knows, like, how does this correlate with that, and, but, you know, I understand the desire to explain it. You know, I look at science and but really, I don't know, you know, it's just an amazing story.
Is there any way to tell how she landed on her side, or straight down on her feet? Did that have any kind of effect?
I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, probably Dad can tell you how he found her, but a lot of her, like, rib fractures and stuff were that, yeah, some of them were left-sided, but then you had some fractures right-sided. So, it's hard for me to say for sure, because it kind of wasn't just one side that was affected.
Has anyone tried to explain, number one, how fast you were going when you hit the ground, and secondly, where you landed, was it just happened to be a soft area, so it was survivable, or do these things that we're never going to know?
My dad,
she was on her back when I walked up, ran up to her. When I ran up to her, she was on her back, kind of on her side, you know, back and forth, back and forth. The ground was, I mean, it wasn't soft. I mean, it wasn't hard either. It was cow pasture. You know, all the cows were running up to her. She was all the cows away. But she was on her back and couldn't catch her breath. That's why she had such a scared look in her eyes. She couldn't catch her breath. She got the breath from him knocked out of her, you know. And every time she would catch her breath, she would just scream. And that's going to rub her back.
So even though she doesn't remember, you remember her as being conscious when you found her. And then what happened after that? Once the emergency crews got you, did they put you into a medically induced coma? Or?
I'm not sure what they did. The paramedics from the fire department were out first. They were a little bit, messed around, and birdie and the airplane.
They said they intubated her in the helicopter, so I'm sure they had to do something to calm her down. she also told her dad that she couldn't see, which we are very thankful that she can, and when she woke up, she could. We were very worried about that. She kept telling him she couldn't see, and for everybody, somebody to get off of her because she felt like somebody was sitting on her.
She'd sit out of breath like, get off me, get off me. And then she'd like, bring my back, Dad. And then she wouldn't be able to breathe no more, and then she'd take a breath and scream.
Makenzie, what was the first thing you saw when you woke up?
I saw my family sitting over me, sitting beside me, and I don't remember much about the whole month. Dr. Sticky, do you have an estimate on when Makenzie might be able to go home or leave the hospital?
Yeah, I think pretty soon. We're just kind of waiting. We've got some follow-up X-rays and stuff to see, when we can start taking the braces off and getting her to have more weight. And so we're just kind of waiting for those to get back and follow up, and that will tell us a lot more if she has restrictions and setting up her plan for when she goes home. So hopefully, within the next week or 2 days.
What will happen when she gets home? What will we do?
Yeah, so we want her to do like outpatient therapy. So, she do physical therapy and occupational therapy, and then speech therapy, and like continue to work on her cognitive part of it and her schoolwork, and then getting her, slowly getting her back into school and normal stuff.
What is the speech therapy?
To work on the like the mild brain injury issues. So like just to keep working on making sure her cognitive recovery is continuing to progress. So and then getting her back into her schoolwork so she could get back to where she was in school and continue on her same graduation path.
You looking forward to getting back to school?
I am.
It's going to be quite a day, huh?
Yes, I'm ready, but I'm nervous to see, to have everybody ask questions and stuff, but I'm very ready to go back to school.
How hard is it reliving this and constantly talking about it and thinking about it? I mean, do you wish it would just kind of go away and move on?
I do, but I really don't mind talking about it, but kind of over it.
What about you, Dad? How often do you think about this? Do you go back in your mind and say, I wish I wouldn't have done this?
Every day since, every day. I think about it. It's, like I say, the look in her eyes when I see her when I go home. I think about it every day.
I take it you're not going to allow her to ever go skydiving again? Or are you?
Well, first she didn't. But I'll got her back for whatever she does.
When the doctors first told you, Mom and Dad, that this looks like she's going to be okay, it's going to take some time, but she's going to be okay, what went through your mind?
I was elated. Couldn't believe it. I was amazed. Very thankful.
Did you think at first there was no way?
Yeah, they had us in the consultation room, which is where they inform people basically that it's very serious, very bad. But after from that Saturday when she got to the hospital till Sunday morning, we were not sure if she was going to make it or not. So, and then after they did the procedure to fix her liver, that was, and they came in and told us that they didn't have to cut her open or anything to do it. It all worked out good, and we were just very thankful that, they said she was going to, and just like Dr. Bender, the trauma surgeon, said, if he would have talked to us before she had that procedure done, that he would have told us that he didn't expect her to live. So I'm glad he didn't come in and talk to me, because that would have been the worst moment of my life. Probably would have killed me too.
Makenzie, you talked about getting back to school. What have you learned from this experience so far?
In what ways?
Just in what you've gone through. I mean, you try to, as humans, you try to put stuff together and find the rhyme or reason with things. Has this taught you anything, a young 16-year-old? Just about life in general.
It's definitely taught me that there is a God and He's definitely looking after me.
You know, like, that doesn't mean that you have to fill every bucket list.
Doctor, is Makenzie expected to have any kind of complications in the future?
No, I mean, we're getting some of the follow-up x-rays, but everything is looking good, like it's healing well, she's progressing cognitively. She had bleeding in the brain, but it was a small amount of bleeding in the frontal part, like she can recover well from that. So, and her liver, checked her liver function and everything, and all of that is now back to normal. So I really think, besides getting her teeth taken care of, I really think she'll be fine.
Whose idea was it for the shirts?
The school. Someone at the school. All the students at the school.
A couple more questions.
One thing that I would like to say is this, and I don't want to open up anything other than this statement, is that I think that there needs to be some changes, and whether a 16-year-old is prepared enough to jump out of an airplane with a parachute. And I do not believe in any instance that Makenzie would have been prepared for something that anything that happened that day. There was no preparation for it. I mean, she's 16. She was jumping out of an airplane for the first time at 3,500 feet. And if you look up and you see something's wrong with your parachute, I mean, how does anyone expect a 16-year-old to not react? I mean, even if she did everything she was taught, there's nothing that I think that a 16-year-old would be able to do to fix the problem. I mean, not her first time anyway, at 100 pounds, I mean, I just think that something needs to be done about that. So.
Makenzie, you said that this has taught you there is a God who's watching out for you. Has this made you more spiritual overall? Can you talk about that? Can you talk about your faith, and has it been increased because of all of this? Have you become more spiritual?
It has increased, and I pray every night, and I thank Him, and I talk to Him, and I thank Him. Thank you for letting me still be here, and for my recovery, and I just know He has a plan for me.
Makenzie, we've all missed the obvious question. How strong are you?
What does that mean to you? What does the goodness
Strong enough to fall 3,500 feet and live.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.